the super material of the future, game changer. These phrases have been used to describe graphene, a derivative of graphite. Yes, graphite, the same material in our pencils. But while graphite is brittle and flimsy, graphene is completely the opposite. How different? To begin with, it is 300 times stronger than steel. Graphene is supposed to change the way the world works. Graphene can change the many industries. One of the main applications for graphene is in the wearable space. Can you believe that a simple 5-volt battery is enough to turn your clothes into a heater in cold regions? Graphene can be very useful in these scenarios. Here is Subhitesh, Chief Graphene Technologist at Tata Steel, to explain the application.
From a business perspective, we want to buffer against cyclicality. The way to do it is to bring in new materials within the business fold, which address new markets, new sectors, and counters the cyclicality of the steel business. The world is moving fast, and it's moving faster every decade we go through. The next 25 years is going to move faster, which is going to bring in need for newer materials, materials that need less fuel, materials that are lighter and hence consume less fuel in use, that have a lower carbon dioxide footprint, need less maintenance by being more corrosion resistant. And seeing these opportunities of the future and looking at the cyclicality of the steel business, Tata Steel decided to set up a vertical called New Materials Business. We had an effort in finding out what material to work on. Something that would be large enough eventually in business volume as steel is. Something that would be higher in profitability than steel is today. And it's not very easy to find such a material. So we looked at 150 different materials and we came to 2 materials of choice. One is graphene. Graphene, because of its excellent, unique properties of high corrosion resistance, extremely high electrical conductivity in one direction, and being of ultra low electrical conductivity in the other, gives unique properties. It is also a material that is quite early in its implementation. Taking technical advantage, leadership position in this material will give us business benefits going forward. We will be the leader in the field when graphene gets properly commercialized and implemented in the market.
Apart from wearables, the next big change with graphene will be seen in the personal tech space. Your power banks will be much lighter while storing a lot more power. Phones that can be rolled up and fit into pockets, turning every surface into a screen. Think about it. Every curtain, every table is now a screen. While graphene holds a lot of potential in the medical field, chances are it will start off on a small scale. Something as simple as a blood pressure monitor.
Graphene was actually isolated using a very simple technique of a scotch tape. So you take a scotch tape and a piece of graphite, put the scotch tape on top and then just peel it off. The single layer that you get is graphene. When we say materials of the future, what do we actually mean? Is that it's going to either create a new market, a new business segment, or it is going to be replacement for a particular material. The biggest property is its electronic properties, especially when it is in a single layer. And that's why when it started, it was looked as a replacement for the Indian tin oxide, which is used in all our cell phones. Imagine all the cell phones today are all rigid. They don't bend. But tomorrow's world is going to be curvilinear. People would love to roll up their cell phones, take them anywhere. Any surface would become a display device. So for example, today you have to look at a TV. But tomorrow you can actually convert any surface, maybe a draping or maybe a curtain, without any environmental load. And finally, finding the right application and its usage is going to be the challenge. What I foresee is that the biggest markets would be anti-corrosion. The next biggest market would be composites, in which you would dope graphene in very small percentages. So by composites, I mean it's a large segment of polymers, rubber, even paper. You can dope graphene in paper as well. So the biggest market would be anti-corrosion coatings, where graphene finds usage. The second market would be the composites market. I think Tata Steel aspires to be the biggest player in the graphene segment.
On a larger industrial scale, experts are looking at graphene making big inroads in the field of polymers, rubber and paper industries. Thanks to its anti-corrosive and anti-rust properties, developments in graphene are awaited with bated breath. All of this sounds amazing, but it's been 15 years since graphene was first isolated and the developments have been minuscule. A major reason is at $100 a gram, graphene is expensive to produce. Major players across the world are racing to find solutions to the graphene challenge. One of them is Tata Steel. A graphene development cell has been set up by Tata Steel in Jamshedpur to identify new applications of graphene. 2 advanced material research centers have been established, one at Chennai in collaboration IIT Madras, and the second one is at Bangalore in collaboration with the Center for Nano and Soft Matter Sciences. The start might be slow, but it's just a matter of time before the graphene boom.